Hey, can you hear me now, Dan? I think we had an issue with the audio for a second. Sweet. Okay, perfect. Glad you can hear me. Hey, Bitcoin audio. Okay, Bitcoin audio is back too. Thanks for coming into the stream.
I'm gonna turn
Um,
this fan off. My bad.
okay. Welcome, welcome. Oh, no audio, but can you hear it now? Enough?
INF, that's my man. What's up, INF? Yeah, that's the guy that helped me greatly in DJing. He taught me how to mix and scratch like very early on.
Oh, that's so awesome. Glad
He's a
it's
legend.
working. Okay, sweet. It sounds like Easy is here too, and he can hear now. Everyone can hear. Awesome, good. Sorry we started this stream a little late today, but I'm super, super excited for DJ Skrilla's episode. For those of you that are here, uh, big yourself, Scrilla, INF said. For those of you that are here that know Scrilla, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And those of you that don't, I'm super, super excited to host this one. DJ Skrilla does amazing music, and he's been in the space for a long time. And I'm going to post all of his links to his albums and the ways that you can support him in my Discord after this and on Twitter. But his music is like I was just telling him before, I'm not huge into music. Obviously, I listen to it, I consume it, but I don't know a ton about it. And the stuff that he puts out is just like, it's just so clean and good. And you are an amazing producer, so I'm super excited to go into what you do. Um,
Thanks.
yeah,
You're an amazing artist too. So I have at least 2 of your prints hanging up here. But
thank you.
actually, we're actually in the middle of moving too. So
Oh,
like
no way.
yeah, this is like the last part of my house. It's really like still together. Like so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So are you guys are just leaving your current place or leaving town?
No, yeah, both actually.
Oh, wow.
Get out
Big
of
move.
DC. Yeah, we're going to a more less city environment.
Okay,
I've been in the city
interesting.
forever. I've always been a city person, but now like I've grown up a lot and I got a family, I got kids, so like it's starting to like really like I'm feeling like my parents more.
I didn't
Yeah.
know you guys had kids.
Yeah. Well, I got one kid and
Okay.
one on the way, so
Oh, no way. Congratulations.
yeah, thanks.
That's super, super exciting. Um, oh, nice. Easy just said just ordered his first Josie print. Thank you. Um, but no, that congratulations. That's so exciting. I had no idea. I'm gonna have to DM you both and
Yeah, yeah.
send you something cool. Anyways, okay, cool. Let's just hop into this. So obviously, right now you're like in your studio. This setup and all your records and everything looks awesome. I saw a little bit of it when we were on the Bitcoin Magazine stream.
Mm-hmm.
But just to like start off for the people who aren't super familiar with your work, can you tell us a little bit about like what got you to this point? Have you always been creating music? Did you really start to like kind of light that up once you found out about Bitcoin and wanted to spread it in that way? Just give us a little bit of background.
So yeah, I started doing music pretty much out of college, like DJing and stuff, and that got me into making beats. And me and the guy INF they were talking to on the we used to spend like hours in the basement just making beats and DJing and scratching stuff. So it just started like that, real hobbyist, and then I just got really like dedicated to it. And like I've been like arts and stuff like my whole life. So like you know, I grew up kind of like drawing more, and then I got into and I was into writing too, and then I got the music took over for a long time, and I just started making beats. My studio, my house basically became like a rapper hangout, making a lot of records, putting a lot of records out, especially in like the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. But then kind of moved up and started doing like more like national and international sound stuff with like a lot of like the underground labels, a lot of underground artists in like the 2000s, and then around like 2007 it really took off. We worked with a lot of big artists like New York and Philly, and we put out this mixtape called Guns and Butter, Raise the Hammer, and that kind of like set it off where I took it like full time. and just started making beats. I set up a record label called Interloop Records. We put out like at least like 40 releases. I used to throw like parties like 5 nights a week and all that crap and do everything. And then I did a lot of projects in terms of all that, but then I got into managing artists for a little bit, and then then at the same time I discovered Bitcoin in 2013, and me and my friends were gonna buy it at like $13, and we got talked out of it by this guy's girlfriend who was a banker. And we just had this important meeting, and Bitcoin
Typical.
and like so we didn't buy it, and it went up to like $200 like a month later. So like we were all like, that's when we really started like watching it. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, it went up to like $1,000, and we were like,
Wait,
right,
so how did you first get introduced to it? Like, who told you about it?
all right, so yeah, my roommate or my buddy who's in Guns and Butter with me. He's the other half of Guns and Butter, which is my production crew, and then I have a solo career as well. So the Guns and Butter stuff is my friend Chops. He introduced me to it because his roommate was mining it, and he worked for like the CIA or something, like in like 2012 or something. Like this dude was talking about like some like space currency on the internet, and like we're just like, what? But it intrigued us, and like to the point where like my friend was going to set up like a PayPal for it type thing, like a whole like intermediate service even back then, like 2012 or something. But we got, and then or 2013, I'm sorry, and then I lost interest after it hit like $1,000. Like, all right, I missed the boat, and then I guess I didn't watch the price, and it came back down a little bit or a lot bit, and then 2014. Silk Road stuff and Dread Pirate Roberts was really like popping in the news, and I wanted to put out an album that was like kind of like a documentary, so I chose that Silk Road as it. I didn't know a lot about Silk Road, to be honest with you, and I got my two friends, Casito and Russell, who also produced, and we made this record called Silk Road, and I discovered Bitcoin real deep there and like what its use cases were and all that stuff. So I put that album out in 2014, and then I went down the rabbit hole for a long time in Bitcoin, just for like the next like 3 years or so, and I didn't do as much music. Like really, like I just went all in on Bitcoin in terms of like learning about it. I was in the communities, doing meetups, doing podcast stuff. I was writing about it, and then 2016 I discovered the rare Pepe stuff, and that sparked my interest because it was crazy on a couple different levels. Number one, it was like making fun of like the crypto people in space and the ICOs and stuff, and it was like garbage pail kid type stuff, and like it was funny. It was parody, it was trollish, and I like all that stuff, like fringe comedy and all that stuff. So I was like, all right, what is this? It's on Bitcoin. Like, how is this working? So it was like these collectibles they're making, they're selling them, and they're trading them. And this is like right before the ICO boom. And it was just like the chat in there about like the crypto art stuff in like late 2016, early 2017 that happened in that chat was like pretty amazing. Like, I mean, I spent a lot of time just like talking about it, and we were like making these cards, and all these collectors in like Japan or Venezuela or whatever, like designing cards. People are collecting them. Like, it got crazy at one point. People were paying like $30,000 for a card and stuff. And that just went down. Then it went down the crypto art rabbit hole, and then I made the DJ Pepe, and I connected the music to it, and then I got really interested in kind of how I could do crypto music, and like kind of like there's a few different things I've done, like a proof of purchase token or a proof of share token, the paywall token. Just to experiment with like the music and crypto and stuff like that, and Bitcoin in particular. Like, I know Ethereum is using a lot. There's a lot more going on with it, but I'm still more like, I'd like to see it more on Bitcoin personally.
100%. I think a lot of people want. First of all, your story and just like your journey is really awesome. I'm jealous I wasn't in this space as early as you, but I also like look up to you guys, and I think it's just such a cool, like, hearing you say in these early years when you're like, yeah, I didn't know much about it, but I was just figuring it out and making music about it. Like, that's kind of the story of everyone that eventually comes into this space. Like, you don't know much at first, and then you just like dive in, and if you're creative like you are, you want to make something around it because it's become a part of your journey, it's become a part of your life, so you just learn about it, and then in your case you're making music on it, you started doing some crypto art on it. Like that is just so cool to me because it mirrors that's like anyone's story in the space that's creative. No matter when you came in, you have to learn, you have to do your research, and at that time there was so much less information out there. So it's really cool that you were able to just like grasp onto that and do something cool with it. And even full circle, I mean, with what you were just chatting about at the end about wanting to see more stuff on Bitcoin, I've been really excited lately thinking about it because I feel like the Ethereum community, like as you know, has done um, some amazing stuff, and the community there is really strong. And the community has, in general, there's obviously always the outliers, but in general, has been like really uplifting and positive of each other. So I think it's been honestly amazing to see all of that and also know, because I've personally talked to them, a lot of the Ethereum community don't know a lot about Bitcoin, and they
Yeah.
don't know kind of like why Ethereum even
Yeah.
started, that this was the spawn of something that's so much, in my opinion, so much bigger. It's a whole, it's a like, it sounds so dumb to say, but like it's a lifestyle. Like it's so much, it's just so much bigger than Ethereum. It's so much bigger than programmable, like smart contracts. Like it's about sound money, one the title of your album. So I just think that's super interesting to hear, and I'm excited to hear be in these like Telegram chats with the Bitcoin community members talking about how can we create something that's really cool for creatives that works on Bitcoin. So I think we'll definitely see that, and creating NFTs on Ethereum isn't for everyone, and that's totally fine. And I even personally, I've told my collectors, if something starts to really work on Bitcoin and it gets big, I would love to transfer my NFTs over and basically like reissue them
Yeah.
to those people on Bitcoin. And I think that waiting around for something like that is totally not a bad thing to do. There's some pieces that I've waited and I'm not going to tokenize on Ethereum for certain reasons that I really want to tokenize on Bitcoin. But Bitcoin Audio said liquid maybe. Do you mean like that you think Ethereum is more liquid than Bitcoin? What do you mean
No,
by that?
liquid is a side is like a layer on top of Bitcoin or side chain to verify
Oh,
chain or something.
got it. Um, yeah, no,
Like
that
it's
sounds
like how XCP was, except for more. I think it's more programmable and up to date than XCP type thing. But yeah,
okay. Yeah, Blockstream sidechain. Oh yeah, I think I might be in a chat about that, but I've heard some comments on both sides of it. Also, someone wants to know what strain you're smoking, if you are willing to share that.
this is gelato.
There you go, folks. I don't really know what that means, but that's what it is. Sounds delicious. If I smoked, maybe I'd know, but sounds good. Um, okay, cool. So I want to talk a little bit about your. Um, you said you were making this music, and then you tried making um, these coins the coins that were connected to the music. Can you talk a little bit about that? And because I
Yeah.
think that also opens the conversation for some ETH people that are in here to kind of like know a little bit about like where, like how tokenizing was before Ethereum, sort of thing.
Yeah, so it was super easy. Like honestly, so I haven't, besides super rare and rareable and like the platforms, I haven't. It's very easy to tokenize on there, right? But with like for instance XCP, what I was using, what we were all using back then, because it was like the second layer thing on Bitcoin, and XCP has its problems too. Don't get it twisted, but at least you were able to do it on Bitcoin, is
Mm-hmm.
I liked about it particularly. But the app, I mean, you just be taking a crap and you can make a token on the immediately, like, you know what I mean? Like it was that simple. Like it was you. So back then we were using there was some app. I mean, it's not on the iTunes store anymore. I think it's on Android though. But it Book of Orbs, I think it was Book of Orbs maybe. But that and what's the other one? The one that we were using, that we're still using, is Indie Square. So you can just like make a token real quick and use, you know, you could use XCP, and you know, then you put the card and you submitted it, kind of like all these other platforms on Ethereum. You submitted it to the quote unquote rare Pepe scientists, and then they, you know, make sure that it wasn't like they wouldn't allow anything that was like racist or like nudity or anything like that. I think everything else was fair game.
What was the
And
market like on there?
like how many people? Or
Yeah.
at one point I think we had close to 2,000 people like in the chat, and it was very active. Yeah, like
Okay.
yeah, like during like 2017, it was super active. It was probably one of the most active Telegram chats, I imagine. But the so you make them, and then within the rare Pepe wallet that Joe Looney made, it was a super like advanced wallet. I mean, even still today, it's like super advanced because it's actually like showing you, you know, assets on, you know, using Bitcoin. And he has this other one, um, what's it called? The new one he's got out. Yeah, you can just create right there without XCP on Bitcoin, the token. I can't remember. It'll come to me in a second. But so let me get back to it. You create the token, then you put it on the market, and within the Rare Pepe wallet or within XCP, it also has like a decentralized exchange. And so you could just post it up there, and then people could buy and sell it. And Joe made it so that everything was like visual, so it wasn't like a stale like exchange. Like it looked like baseball cards, like on
Right.
the screen, you know. So on it, when you click on the card, you click on it, and it's like the front, and then you have a back, and the back will be like buy, sell, or trade or something. But then the DJ Pepe was like that when I first made it, and then we got the idea, and Joe helped me make the wall behind it. But I took my SoundCloud page and I made it private, and then I put some like exclusive music on there. And then so if you own the DJ Pepe token, it would say bonus content, and you click on it, and it takes you to that page even still to this day. And so it's like a cool little like experiment. Like even like with the Stacking Sat song I just released, I put it up on DJ Pepe token for like the first 3 days. Like you got an exclusive listen if you're like owning the token.
Okay.
Yeah.
See
So
that's really cool. I like that idea because I don't there's some people on the in the Ethereum community that make music, but I love that idea that you own this and then you sort of like unlock something. I don't know if they're doing anything like that right now.
yeah, and it's you know, it's really just like it's a marketing thing. Like to be honest with you, like which all music really and art at the end of the day ends
Yeah.
up being marketing. So, but what I'm doing is I'm trying to give fans and token holders, etc., a reason to, you know, latch onto what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, so they're investing their energy into it. You know what I mean? But they're also participating in something that's like brand new and like futuristic. I think so. They're able to like go back and like it's like an equal reciprocal thing. I think like we're giving each other. I'm giving them something. They're able to give back, and with, you know, monetarily, and also to the energy of their people. Like, yeah, I can listen to this, blah blah. Now, I'm not a huge artist or anything, so it's not that big a deal yet. But this technology, like you say, like Kanye West or something, like put a record out and then it was 5 tokens. Like fans would like be crazy for that, and then the secondary market of that would be crazy. Like it would just be an interesting experiment. So like that's kind of what I'm trying to show is that. So I made 169 tokens. I think I've distributed like 90 of them, or maybe close to 100 of them. So there's still some out there, and yeah. So that's that one with the music, and then the other ones I did was for Can't Smoke a Bitcoin. I did a proof of share token, which I got rid of about 80 of those tokens, and they were all basically if you shared the song on Twitter or Instagram, then you sent proof in my DM or something like that, and then I sent you a token. So then like 80 people I think participated in that, and I think I ended up sending like 60 tokens out.
Oh, nice.
Like 20 people didn't claim them, and then
Yeah,
some of
but
those
that's
actually,
even a high percentage.
yeah, and some of those people even on secondary market, some of those were bought and sold. So that, you know, only a few, but it was interesting. And then
Yeah.
I did it again with another song, and then recently for the Sound Money album I just put out, I did which I think I'm more interested in right now is the proof of purchase token kind of. I don't know what to call it really, but it's basically, so people are always like trying to be super fans, like, oh, I listened to this band before you, I was into them, blah blah. You know what I mean? that's always a big thing in music, and in art too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
if I
of
got
course.
really Josie, I'm like, shit, I got that shit. Shit, when Josie had like 700 followers, man, like I had that joint. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like bragging rights for a fan. And so like with the Sound Money album, if you pre-ordered it on Bandcamp, then you just had to send me a proof of purchase to the email, and then I sent you a token with the album art of one of the singles. And to me, that's a cool thing that you always have proof now that you were early in on it, like, and there's no denying it, and it's just a cool way to do it. And like, I think if somebody platformed it out, it would be like a cool way for fans to display like their music and like kind of like how they supported it and levels like where they got in it. You know what I mean?
See, I really like that. That excites me. And we had some people like Easy and Crypto said we need more music artists on the blockchain, which I totally agree. But I also I think that what you were just saying at the end of it really excites me because if I was, in my opinion, if I was a producer or a musician or whatever, I would want, or even as an artist, the goal is that you have as many people as possible consume the actual experience of viewing or listening to your art piece.
Mm-hmm.
But so I don't know if I necessarily would want to limit like how many people can like listen to the song, but I love the idea of having like these special members. Like if Kanye put out like, even 1,000 tokens that you can buy, separate from his album, but you can buy them separately and you get, a digital poster or a t-shirt or whatever it is. Like even those would be traded like crazy. So I think that is super exciting. That idea of just like membership, like you were saying, and that idea that I can hang this on my wall because I supported someone early that I'm a fan of, and to even like then
And
that
then
becomes collectible.
people would even want to, like, you got certain people that are clout chasers that they'll
Mm-hmm.
would go and try to buy that in secondary market. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
would be a thing in itself too. Like, like it would be like shoe collectors. Like a lot of shoe collectors that got in late, they're like went and bought all the early shoes and overpriced paid for
Yeah.
them just to look like they were always in, and same type of thing.
And not even just that, like imagine I plan to do this with some of my stuff and I won't reveal exactly what I'm doing, but imagine, for example, for your stuff, if someone purchased your Sound Money, had a proof of